get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Break it down like this.
Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And people, how was your commute this morning? How was your drive this morning? Steve Rummage in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
Well, how was your drive this morning?
Man, it was wet, rainy, ugly, slow,
man,
all that bad stuff.
And here's the deal, man. It's Bullitt County, first day back to school today. So, you know, I was doing the first day back at school dad thing, all that stuff. I text Marcus. I say, Marcus, man, I think I'm running a little bit late. I get here, said, my bad. I'm sorry I'm late. He's like, what do you mean late? This is when you always get here. I'm like, that. I look down. I'm like, well, it is 9:40, I guess. Because I didn't do too bad.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm running late? And to add a funnier note to it, my phone wasn't even turned on.
I know.
So I
tried to.
Oh, you tried to call?
Yeah, like 3 times and text.
No, I got here earlier and I was setting up cameras and trying to work on the streams. By the way, we are made for the Ville. YouTube.com.
That's each separate words. We are made for the Ville.
YouTube streaming not nonstop because
right.
Steve sometimes tells stories that might get him arrested.
Might get me arrested.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
None too much. Getting my sports centers ready and stuff back here, hanging out.
It's getting that time, man.
Now tell me more. Come on, Brian. Tell me more than that.
Well, what you want to talk about with your Made from the Ville is I think we got the stream working now where we're going to have the audio matched up with your lips. And so that's going to be a good thing.
Good.
We're working on that this morning.
Yep.
That was an important thing. Oh, I hope you got my win music ready.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
So when you say, I hope you got my win music ready.
It's like, yeah.
And he says, hold on. What does
right.
that mean? Come on. You know what? Break right into it, Brian.
All I do is win, no matter what.
USA!
Everybody hands go up.
Gold medals?
And they stay there.
Coach Walls? Mexico City? Domination? That's what I'm talking about. USA gold medal game. Congratulations, Coach Paul. I tried to tell you people, this is a big deal. Your women's basketball coach just led your United States of America women's team to a gold medal.
Big time.
How good is that?
Big time.
What would you do to possess a gold medal representing your country?
A lot.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah.
Bring that down. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Coach Walls. Listen, I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to ask about how many recruits you got based on your time with USA because we were former Louisville commit Brian Bowen, something on the ticker. FBI investigation, corruption, basketball ticker.
Right. He signed
Yeah. To play in Australia.
I know. I noticed that yesterday that he turned back into former.
Don't do this to me this morning, ESPN.
Former Louisville commit. You totally forget that.
Oh my God, former Louisville commit.
You totally forgot he was on South Carolina's team.
What did you just do to my morning?
Wait, what did you say? That the 13 and under West Louisville All-Stars are going to the Babe Ruth tournament?
All I do is win. All I do is win.
Jamon Brown Foundation. Huge contribution. Thank you. Positive news. Our very own Jamon Brown dug deep into his pockets to make sure those kids could get it done. Good job. Good job, Jamon. We ain't mad at you. Keep it up, baby. Brian, I see what
Hey,
you're
wait, would you say that Corey Ray was the minor league baseball player of the month?
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Shout out to Corey Ray. Shout out to Corey Ray. Make it happen, y'all. I got another one, Brian. Louisville's men's soccer, the Fighting Ken Lolas, number 6 in the country preseason, Brian.
No matter what, got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Steve, you got something for us?
Yeah.
And they stay there, and they say yeah.
Louisville football picked to beat Alabama in the Steve Rummage magazine.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah.
I got nothing else. I got nothing else.
Good run.
It was good, though.
We had to bring us back up from that round.
I know. But here's the thing. Like, people, we had to do that for our own sanity. I saw that over Steve Rummage's shoulder just now, and it's just like, okay, now, who do you talk to when you say, is that really anything? They're playing ESPN Ocho, for God's sakes. They're having Roman children tower building on ESPN, and you put on the bottom line three separate tickers about Brian Bowen and Louisville and FBI scandal and commit to Louisville because he signed a contract to play in Australia. Now, are y'all gonna call me and apologize at some point before we get this new season started? Like, I don't mind. 8150 939 3831 939. I don't mind if you call and apologize for not buying that there was heavy-handed coverage, and there's been heavy-handed coverage anti-Louisville from the beginning. Texter, we're going to address that right now. Speaking of apologies, so I was going to wait till later to approach this, but I guess we got blame to go around to multiple places.
No, just one.
Yesterday, your boy Maben had a little issue. A little allergic reaction. Could not make it into the show.
Do tell.
Now, what I experienced yesterday was the most disappointed. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in what went on. And you know what? First, I'm going to start off with the listeners. You listen. You bash me when I don't show.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bash anybody else when they don't show.
Mm-hmm.
Diener's gone. Jason Anderson's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I miss a day. Everybody, if you compare my attendance record to that of everybody in the studio, it's a 10% versus 80% non call in, no show. All these no shows you get every day, and Marcus misses a day. And you know what you do, people? You let Steve Rummage and Brian Hall. I feel like I left my baby, my show, in the hands of nannies and children that I didn't know were that bad.
Yeah.
I watched a nanny cam, and I waited for the babysitter, i.e. the listeners. I waited for the babysitters to say, boy, Marcus is going to be pissed when he get back in here listening to y'all. You know what I heard yesterday, people? I heard Steve Rummage politicking for 12 to 3.
Uh-huh.
I heard Hey, you know what would be funny? Let's send pictures of random black dudes, and hey, that would be funny while Dad's gone, and let's make this show about that.
We got
I've heard jokes about spearfishing while I'm not in here, and I sat here and y'all didn't say nothing about this.
They actually
The
enticed it.
you had Brian in here gassing up Steve Rummage like it was just the worst thing, and you all let it happen. Like, you know what? I don't even expect anything more from Steve Rummage and Brian Hall anymore. No. So you know what? I'm not even. It's the kids that you know are bad. I'm just gonna let them be them. But listeners, texters, you did nothing to defend me. No, I mean, listen, those inboxes say, you know, hey, man, you tuning in? I hope you tuning in. No, that's not enough. You call in, you say, easy, Steve. Hey, you call in, you say, easy, Brian. Mm-hmm. You say, you know what, Steve? You're right. Take that 12-3 spot and make the studio do something. I don't really like doing the show by myself, but I'll sit over here and scroll and then see, you see what I'm saying? That's what happened yesterday. I need apologies from everybody.
But we did have a lot of fun.
That was a pretty good show.
It was a good time.
Somebody was thoroughly entertained yesterday. It breaks my heart.
That is hurtful.
I like to hear y'all play the win song. We beat. I know. That was a great point you made, by the way, too, yesterday. When you talked about, you know, the jokes we make about not going or trying to go to Greg Hardy out here beating people up in the UFC. Don't get kid. No, Steve, make that joke right now.
No.
Yes, make that joke right now. It's a Dallas Cowboy. You will make that joke.
No.
Steve, make that joke.
I'm not.
It's the Cowboys. It's Greg Hardy.
About.
He just won his first UFC fight. How do you feel about that, Steve?
Would he get a fight at practice or something?
No, not at practice. In a UFC fight. Make your joke about Greg Hardy right now.
It's good for Greg.
Point being,
I'll leave it at that.
Point being,
it's too sensitive of a subject.
You were talking about
yeah
experiences by going to games.
Oh yeah,
even when you know you shouldn't go.
I know.
Even though you know you don't have it in the budget.
So fun.
Even though, right. Like you could have 10,000 reasons not to do something. One good reason, and that one good reason ends up being the story of your life.
Well, I told the story yesterday of you and me getting to have that time with Tom and Indy, and how much now I'll say that time it got awkward a couple times, but it was fun. It was a good time.
Steve watched in horror as Tom Jurich hugged me and straddled me in excitement in the most alpha way possible.
I was gonna say I embraced with Tom one time myself. There was a little
the embracement. We were having a good time.
But the point was how much now I look back and go,
that was awesome.
Gosh, like awesome. We got to spend that time, like right before him. And there was the time with Rick that we said, and was able to talk. And it's like, dude, that's times that aren't available anymore. You don't get those again.
2:00 in the morning the night before. Think about this, people. I know we're getting a little snappy here. Think about that. 2:00 in the morning, the night before a tournament game, Steve Rummage, Marcus Maben, Lady Friend, Charity Rummage, and Rick. Right? Right.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
I don't know if it was 2. We went to bed about 2. It was probably about midnight. He was saying I'm going to bed.
It was past midnight.
Yeah, probably
it was past midnight.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, that dude was not intoxicated or anything.
He wasn't thinking about going to bed either.
Yeah, he was in savage mode. Yeah, so that was awesome.
To the Bill Edscords and Sons.
All come from trips.
Collision Center. Just throw that out there. Charity, I hope you're listening. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
What's up, Marcus? What's up, Steve?
What's up, Lawrence?
Dylan.
I've been one of the fans who've been picking Alabama to beat Louisville because, I'm still a diehard Louisville fan, but it's Alabama. But with everything that's going on over there in Alabama right now, I got the feeling picking Louisville for the upset right now.
Yeah.
You have no quarterback controversy. You got 12 new starters on that defense. I think Louisville can sneak up on Alabama. And beat
Lawrence,
them.
let me ask you this: how often do you think about Louisville, Alabama on a daily basis? Just let the world know. You know, how out of 24 hours in a day, how much do you think about Louisville, Alabama?
Every 5 minutes.
Lawrence, I appreciate the call.
I love
that,
it, Lawrence.
Listen, that was important for me to ask that question. That was important for me to say that. Because listen, if you listen to the shows, you know Lawrence's voice. You know Lawrence, what kind of questions he's going to have. He's thinking about this every 5 minutes of every day that he's woke.
But I feel you.
Right. Like pardon him.
Yeah.
Pardon him for being that guy. Okay, so we're going to, I guess we'll macro it.
Okay.
What'd you get out of Bobby Petrino's press conference yesterday? The players.
A lot. Macro style.
Yeah, big picture. Because what we'll do is we'll take an early break. We'll go straight from the board on the sound, and we'll just kind of replay and interpret, some of the sound we got from Bobby.
Again, I'll just say the theme with me with Bobby is Bobby sounds confident in what he has. He sounds like he doesn't have a lot of questions. Like the only guy I heard him use this phrase with was Hassan Hall, where he said, and Bobby uses this phrase a lot. He said he needs to. I wish he would understand the offense a little quicker. But that was the only guy he really used that phrase with.
Jalen Smith can't play.
I don't know.
8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. Brian Hall, get on that microphone right now. Tell me, does Jalen Smith play if he's recovered at game time? If he's cleared to play 2 days before Alabama, does he play?
2 days before, no, I think he gets in on set packages. I think you'll see him on the field.
You still think he gets on the field?
Playing anywhere near his regular time.
I could go with that. I would lean more toward if Jalen Smith's cleared on September 1st, Jalen Smith will play in that game. Now, I agree with Brian to the extent of I could say, okay, I can see maybe his almost like when Devontae come back, how the first game he wasn't just in every play.
Right.
You were like, he's not playing his normal minutes. And that's kudos to the depth at wide receiver we have this year.
That's why you don't play him.
Yeah, but it's still Bama, man.
I hate being that. I hate being that guy.
I know.
Listen, here's the thing.
We saw Florida State when they lost Francois in the game.
I know,
you don't want to
man.
send a guy out there and get hurt in the Alabama game.
That's the thing too. I know where both you guys stand. I think you're a little heavy Bama centric right here, but I am like 100% opposite of that position right now. I've seen Jalen Smith a year with a broken hand.
Yeah.
I've seen him drop passes, fumble. Right. Like he fumbles the big time game against what was it, Boston? Boston
College.
One of the game. Yeah,
it was Boston College.
You lose that game because his broken hand cannot cradle the ball. He has given us one full injury year. I lost. That was going to be a horrible statement that I just made. And I'm going to make it anyway.
Do it.
I lost my Jalen Reeves-Maben senior year, comes back, second game of the year, diving on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
An all-conference linebacker is out there on kick coverage.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Out for the season.
I know.
Trying to play hurt two or three games, right? Jalen Smith is worth way too much money. It's time for Bobby Petrino to say, hey, just take Alabama off the board.
But consider the injury.
Internal.
When you get your appendix taken out, it's done. We're talking the wound from surgery. And if that's healed up and cleared. There's nothing there to be.
Just
like I feel you.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. When you have that much money on the line, like they make the saying. Listen,
yeah, but
they make the saying. The saying goes, what is it? every surgery is minor if it's somebody else's.
Right.
And
right.
then, okay, you playing this game. Now you're sweating. Now you're rolling. Now it's getting infected. Now, like you're not getting full recovery 4 weeks. That's just, it would have been in a timetable.
Yeah, but we don't know that it's 4 weeks, see, because we don't know how the surgery went. If it was if it was lipo type surgery, like not lipo, what's it called? With the laser, I mean, he's losing weight,
right?
He's trying to lose weight,
right? No, shave some of that body fat.
Yeah,
I know what you.
Right,
I know
but if it's the what do they call it with the they can use the.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about, the laser thing. If it was like that, it's only a 2-week recovery.
I mean, listen,
you got too much money on the line to not play against Alabama. That's my point.
See,
you set the next week out.
You still got 11.
If you're Jalen Smith, do I need to play against Indiana State?
No, and I'm saying you sit out Alabama, Indiana State, but you know what happens? You don't get your spot back.
Yeah, you don't. You lose your spot. There's too much competition.
Here's the thing. You come back against Virginia and tear it up for the rest of the year.
Laparoscopic.
Scope. This says scope.
Scope. It's driving me nuts now.
What is the?
This isn't even one where I just got bad grammar. I just really
the
can't
least
think of
invasive surgery.
Yeah.
No, but you understand what I'm
yes,
saying? Like this is a real deal.
Oh,
this is why people don't play in the. Okay, use that one. If this were an end of the year bowl game, would you say the same thing?
No. I'd say don't play. It's the end of the year bowl game.
You just want him in there against Alabama, and that's it.
Well, yes, because I think you're going to have a stage if Jalen plays against Leonard Fournette. People have shown you if Jalen goes out there and plays, has a good game against Alabama and a good game against Clemson, with his size, that's a draft pick. He's drafted. I mean, and he's going to be drafted, but I'm saying, you're talking second round.
It is not. Somebody's trying to get you in trouble. It is not laparoscopy.
I think it is. It's like
it might be, but I won't say it out loud.
All right, y'all know what I meant.
you going to say, yeah? And see, I think Texter's kind of both sides of that one.
Sure.
Yeah, and maybe also I'm narrative conscious too. Just
right.
What good? This is why you have depth. This is why you have depth. So your best guy.
But I just think if he's cleared, it means the doctor looked at him and said he's good.
But that's cleared. But if you haven't been going full throttle, and just to pick up a ball and say, okay, go now. You Stoops now?
Well, no, yeah.
Hey, get in there. What's wrong? Keep handing him. What's my boy? Benny Snell.
Yeah, you're all right.
You're all right. Russ,
keep running. Don't worry about it. What are you looking over here for?
Dive left, dive right.
Yeah. What are you looking over here for? We'll get you. You get us close to the end zone, and we'll roll out and throw a touchdown to Conrad.
We'll run a bootleg. We'll run a bootleg QB keeper if you get us under the 10.
Sorry, that was my varsity Bud Kilmer. Bud Kilmer over at Kentucky.
If an SEC team beat Bama, they would get bumped to top 10.
Louisville will too.
Brian, catch those two.
Louisville goes out and beats Alabama. Louisville will be a top 10 team.
Marcus, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
All right. Well, I just heard y'all's conversation on whether Jalen Smith should play against Bama, and I feel this way. Why risk? I mean, if his injury isn't healed up by the time the Bama game comes around, why play?
No, but we're saying, what if it is healed, but what if he hasn't been practicing full throttle? That's kind of
right. And I just feel like this. The Bama game doesn't really determine anything but a win or a loss. The games that we're really gonna need him for is those conference games, and that's gonna be the most important thing. So even if he doesn't play through Bama, we're gonna need him in the bigger games. Like the Bama game is just one. That's a giant game right there, but we're going to need him in those conference games because, I just remember that 2000 what year was 2014 when we had Devontae and he got hurt. That really hurt us, and I feel like it's kind of similar to that. And I feel like if he doesn't play in the Bama game, okay, but there's a bigger picture. We could start off 1-2 if that did happen. But once that ACC season starts, that's a new season right there. But that's all I had to say.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. I mean, here's the thing. I would be a hypocrite if I started going conference guy. If Marcus Maben started going, it's about winning conference. I had this argument. I was sitting there with Drew Diener for years. I'm like, I'll sacrifice all type of conference games for the Alabama game. I don't want to be hypocritical, but for a smart guy, don't be hypocritical against me and say, yes, your way of getting to the championship is losing to Bama and winning your conference. You know, making sure you don't have a letdown against Virginia, being full staffed against Virginia, and then Florida State, and you know, like you know. So that's a good point he's making.
No, it is. It's a great point. But let me ask you this: would you play?
2018, Marcus would probably be different from 99.
There's no scenario, Marcus. I know what you're saying,
Steve. There's
no scenario you would not play.
I had a half-torn ACL and meniscus, and I was out there in about 10 days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no scenario.
But I'm cold though. So.
Getting your
I got a little Wolverine in me.
It's fair to see. I barely tweaked my ankle in the men's league, and I'm like, yo, I'm out for three. I'm out for three. Hey, I send sad emojis. So like, hey man, I think I'm out for three.
Steve gets the tweak and he does the soccer roll where he rolls over 10. Oh my God.
I'm done.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hit the floor guy.
Yes.
I love hit the floor guy.
No, right.
Yeah.
Like and hit the floor guy who's back.
That game.
That quarter.
I know. Like, good Lord.
No, yeah. Listen. Sometimes you say,
yeah,
I need somebody to recommend that I sit out.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just understand. Oh, tell me you're watching that. You will not lie. You will be popcorn ready. Steve?
What?
I will cut off your microphone if you don't admit that you'll be glued to Kentucky versus Bahama national team in the Bahamas. You will be glued from the tip off for the rest of the game. You're watching Kentucky in the Bahamas.
They're in the Bahamas. They're playing when?
Steve, I'm not playing this game with you. Brian Hall, are you watching Kentucky tip to whistle?
Do they play today?
My mom had to tell me this morning that they played tonight. I completely forgot.
They play today on TV against that Bahama team? Isn't that the team Louisville went down and played? They were awful.
I wanted birth certificates because I'm like, you were too old to be.
It wasn't like you remember when Louisville went to the Bahamas and played Puerto Rico and stuff like that. Or they went to Puerto Rico. Like those dudes were good. When Louisville went to the Bahamas, I was like, these guys suck.
I found out that Kentucky
horrible.
was playing the Bahamas because Dwight Colby, who played for Western Kentucky last year, is playing for the Bahamas team.
Stop acting like y'all aren't watching this. 8150-939 is the number. I don't want to turn this into an advertisement, but I will until people start telling me the truth. You will be watching Kentucky tonight, yes or no?
I'll probably watch a little bit of it.
You're watching.
No.
Top
those teams
to
suck. They're not, is that the team that Cal said that somebody would like? My father-in-law was telling me something like Cal said he expect them to lose 3 games. Is that who they're playing? Those Bahama teams? Oh, I can't wait to talk to my father-in-law. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to say, man, if y'all lose 3 games, you should probably not watch the season.
Steve.
Just go ahead and duck out.
Why are people faking like they're not interested in watching every man from top to bottom?
I'm not faking that. I'll watch a few minutes of it to see,
One of
their
our
guys.
favorite callers on the line, Paul from Seattle. Welcome to 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
Marcus, Steve. I guess I would be calling you guys The Drive in the morning with Marcus.
I love it.
Yeah. So just recapping my appendectomy, I'm 37 now. I had it when I was 18, and I was playing elite level tennis and soccer in Kentucky at the time. And I think every appendectomy is considered emergency because when that thing pops, man, you could really get a serious staph infection.
Yeah, definitely.
And possibly even die. So, I mean, 20 years ago when I had it done, it was a laparoscopic procedure.
Yeah.
I was in and out in a day, and I was playing sports within a week.
Yeah,
2 weeks,
that's what they say about
such a
vasectomies too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how the procedure's gotten better in 20 years since I've had it done. And
Okay.
I was 18, 19 at the time. Jalen's that same age, you know, so he's gonna recover quick. I mean, obviously, if it was a serious cut across the muscle in the core, then yeah, it's gonna be a lot longer.
See,
no, listen.
Paul,
I appreciate the call. Paul.
No, Paul,
That's
thank you. That's good insight. Now, would you agree with me that if Paul is right on that, and it was a surgery, he was boom in and out, laparoscopic? Thank you, Paul, and thank you, text line, for everybody that
we are getting.
I knew it wasn't lipo.
We have doctors who listen to us. Obviously,
we do, because a doctor come up to my wife and was like, the story has nothing to do about us. I'm just mad. No, a doctor come up to
right. I don't like doctors talking to my wife. I'm not a doctor.
No, heck no. I'm like, babe, you have a baby with one of them, and we get child support check from a doctor?
Steve,
Hey,
stop it.
Like, I'll
Stop
take one
it.
for the team.
The hole you're,
I mean, like,
the hole you're digging.
No, but seriously. And he come up and he said, Rummage. He said, you're Steve Rummage's wife, aren't you? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, I listen to him and Marcus every day. And then here,
You're
how about
getting
this?
her in trouble.
No,
right now.
no. This guy's a surgeon, right? He said, they got the coolest job. Yeah, well, we got the coolest job.
Let's switch budgets.
But my point is, yeah, right. Yeah, we'll switch paychecks. Paul, let me say he's right. Hypothetically, Jalen was in and out quick. Jalen's practicing in the next week and a half. That change your mind a little bit?
No.
See, now you're getting crazy. He's got like if Jalen is practicing in the next week and a half.
I know that's extreme.
I don't think so.
It's not extreme.
I don't think it is.
He won't be practicing, but he'll be.
He's running.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And listen, I'll help you make your point. Zero gravity treadmills.
Mm-hmm.
Water workouts are
Mm-hmm.
different. I'll give you those type of arguments, but I will also say cautionary tale. You're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know you're gonna agree. Ray Spalding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You remember?
Yep.
Remember we always said what was wrong with Ray?
The groin.
Yep. And I said there's something about cuts,
Mm-hmm.
core, right?
Yeah.
Soreness.
Uh-huh.
You don't explode. You overcompensate. People, your body may be able to handle it, but psychologically, when you're on that line and exploding off that line is all core. Your first long 5 steps to drive a cornerback back
you're right.
is extreme. You know,
Very.
you're pressuring.
Sure.
Like you're this is Alabama. You know, this is not like you can just, you know, in other sports, you can kind of protect the way you move.
Right.
Ray Spalding, we knew, like all of a sudden, even when he was healthy, he would never extend into contact the same way.
You're right.
And you know what I said? I said, he's protecting his.
You did call that one. I will say that.
Right at the end of the year in the summer, and then he started trying to push to get back,
Yeah.
you know, and it was supposed to be a minor, you know, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, you know, something. He recovered. He physically ran fast, but he just didn't have that full extension from core to extension.
Yeah.
And just like psychologically, like dude, if you can't explode through a hit, if you can't lower like the play to beat Clemson, we needed quick.
Yeah.
To be confident, to lower and explode.
Except
and
he wasn't injured. He just didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah, but
and like I said,
I know. But let me say this, because you almost won me over a minute
you
ago.
watch the way they move.
I know. And when you said that, you made a statement earlier while we was talking back and forth about this. And you said but he hasn't practiced. That worries me the same reason these worry me. And now, if you don't know what I'm holding up a Diet Sunkiss.
If you're following us on We Are Made for the Ville on YouTube, you can see that.
Yes, and The
Did
reason
they
I
have to
say
put an exclamation on there? Why did I put that on there? I put an exclamation point on the end just in case we can't find it.
we can always fix it. We'll be fine. No, I think it's saying welcome back.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, they say people that drink diet sodas a lot of times end up with things like diabetes, different things like that. Has nothing to do with the diet soda. It's that you and I've found myself doing this. Well, now at a restaurant, I can order a little more because I'm drinking a Diet Coke, and it's 0 cal. Okay, so
I can't believe you chose that Sunkiss too.
that's good.
I sent you a video of what that does to
That
a
is-
napkin.
You did.
And you chose to get that exact product. We're going to talk more about this, Jalen Smith. We got to come to a solution. 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. 939 the Ville. So, Steve, what do you think about Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Centers, man?
Let me just say, I had a friend who totally ruined his car. They got him taken care of quick, efficiently, and out the door.
Family owned and operated for over 70 years. Ed Scorns is the leader in auto repair technology and technician training. Do not